Jewish society. What happened was, I knew I had 3 days to live. I knew 3 days. They came like on the second day, and they had to take me to disinfection. So they asked me to get undressed. I said, I'm not giving up my suit. What? I'm not giving up my clothes. So they got a British officer who spoke Yiddish. So he came and said, I will guarantee you, sir, you will have it back clean and neat, but you must go and let that infection happen. So I went, and I was put in a room by myself. I didn't understand at the time why, but they thought I was finished, which is why they put me in a room by myself. But here is the difference between the British and the Americans. So then he showed up in the afternoon with the clothes neatly clean, pressed.
The British officer who spoke Yiddish, yeah.
Showed up. And he kissed me. Didn't say anything.
Come on.
Just kissed me. Left. No, I went to America, my uncle, and I was put in a foster home. My family wouldn't keep me. So they were very nice, a doctor and his wife. And I had my suit with me back, but they only would pay until the age of 18. So when I was 18, I had to leave. So I put my stuff together and I said, where is my suit? The woman who I loved took good care of me. Said, oh, Jack, I didn't want you to have that. I threw it in the garbage. I never forgave her until later when I understood, well, Hollywood movies, everything has to have a happy ending. So they couldn't accept the fact that there are no such thing as a happy ending.
Why did you want to keep the suit?
Because I felt it was my skin. It was in that I survived and lived in, and I wanted people to see it. So even though I was only 14, I had the sense, like the writing.
Yeah.
I wanted people to know.
And so you wrote that diary.
What?
You wrote the diary when you were 14 years old.
I was what?
You wrote the diary when you were 14.
Yeah.
Jack, tell Johnny about the fire.
Oh, yeah. So they put me into a room, and I thought, very nice,
When?
In the liberation, the British.
Uh-huh.
And so then the doctors came, examined me, and I understood, they talked German, and
The British spoke German?
Yeah, they understood.
Uh-huh.
That was the conversation was in German. And they were in the forefront of the room, and they said to the nurse, be nice to him, take care of him. He's not going to make it. I got so furious. I went through all this, and they're telling me I'm not going to make it. I said, I could have screamed at them, So then the British decided, psychologically, to set Belsen on fire and opened all the windows for the survivors to see it burning. And they opened my window. It was spring, it was April. Opened my window. First time I saw my reflection. And I thought the doctors were right. Absolutely. Because in the camps, as you know, anyone who couldn't make it, they would call him a Muslim. I said, I'm finished. Never gonna do it. I mean, I couldn't believe the way I looked.
Wow.
Okay, and so...
what was your weight?
Well, it was 48 pounds.
Wow.
23 kilos.
14 years old.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
In a blaze of Bergen Belsen, he saw his impression in the window.
And got a shock.
It's a great story.
It's amazing.
How is that not a movie? I don't know.
What else do you remember about the British?
What else?
Yeah, when the British came, like, what was the feeling?
Well, they were amazing. Very gentle, caring. Make sure you had everything there. I was completely overwhelmed, and felt for the first time since all this started like a secure, like people care, like what Abraham said. Well, and now, just as I'm talking to you, I realized that's why one of the reasons I did the Kafka story, because there again, people who the others wanted to kill you, they killed your family, but then there were those who did that, and I've always felt very close to the British, and they to me.
Oh, but the British loved your films, actually.
Yeah, they've always loved. They understood.
Your films were a big hit in
They
Great
went
Britain.
very well. Yeah.
Oh,
The premieres
they've
were-
given me like 2 or 3 tributes already.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
They get him there.
And they got it. Like there's a magazine, you could get it on, you find it.
Oh, the
Sight and
Sight
Sound.
and Sound. Yeah. yeah.
And the thing that I did, they call it revolution in acting. You know, and it was amazing. So, and in fact, about the Germans, there was a German director. Well, you know, Brecht married a Jewish woman, but there was a Jewish director called Pescara. He didn't know my background, and he did a play in New York. First, I got a scholarship for 1 year. Without him knowing my background, I auditioned. And then he was like unbelievable. He cast me in the lead. I was here 1 year, and I played the lead in a Broadway play called The Burning Bush. It was a story about the
blood libel.
the blood that the Jews used the blood for Passover, and so and then it moved from Broadway to off Broadway, and again here was a German. So Tony Curtis, when Pescara died, was invited to give the what do you call it?
A eulogy.
The what?
A
Eulogy.
The eulogy. So he said, well, all these wonderful things. But I tell you, he said to me, the thing that was amazing to me, he said, was Pescara, he said, was a 65-year-old man with gray hair walking down the street.
Come on, focus.
With his arm around this 17-year-old kid. And it's true. That's why when I read Abraham in the Bible, I said, absolutely right.
Tell me about James Dean.
Well, James Dean.
Because James Dean was before my time. Like, he was...
Well, he had the same, very